All right. So, once again, welcome. On behalf of the team here at the historic Princess Theater, on behalf of the League of Women Voters, who over the last few days have led similar events like we're experiencing tonight, both in Selma and in Madison City just on Tuesday. With Angela Curry and the great team from the United Women of Color, Beth Noblick, and the community with the Southeastern Diversity Project, and all of us from the church at Stone River, we welcome you to this candidate forum tonight. Now, in early July, we invited every qualifying candidate, those that were running for the mayoral and those that were running for the city council, and we are so grateful for you that are going to be participating in this night, and we're grateful for the three of you and for the city council members that are out here for what you've already done in our community and the way that we're going to be moving Decatur forward and making Decatur better. So thank you. Now, tonight is going to be live stream. And the live stream is on a YouTube channel from the LWV TN Valley, the League of Women Voters Tennessee Valley, their YouTube channel. It's also a great time as you're thinking about technology to go ahead and silence your phones. Conversations can wait until after the event. And as we are in a thought of gratefulness, I want to thank every one of you that submitted thoughtful input for the questions that we're going to be using tonight. The questions that we have are from you all, and we're so grateful for the way that you care about this community. We're going to be able to start with the mayoral candidates and then make a transition around 7:15 to the city council candidates. And as we begin tonight, I would love it if you could help me welcome our moderator, Kanisha Dees. She'll be moderating both the mayoral and the city council. So if we will, let's welcome Kanisha to the stage.
Thank you, Mr. Amy. It is a pleasure to be here again. I am Kanisha Dees with Fox 54 News. I am the weeknight anchor. It is an honor to be here in front of all of you all. Thank you for showing up and being willing to listen to those who want to serve your city. Without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and go over some of the rules, some little housekeeping. Just want to make sure that we're respectful to each other and each other's time. And as moderator, I will be making final decisions as far as rebuttals and anyone who may have anything additional to add on to whatever the response may be. I want to also acknowledge that you, as an audience, you are our active participants too. Again, as Mr. Amy mentioned, you all submitted questions that will be asked during this forum. And do keep in mind there are rules for the audience too. I know you may have a candidate of choice that you support, but if you can please keep your applause, your comments to yourself and wait toward the end, and also make sure that there are no interruptions of any kind during this forum. We want to make sure that the candidates are able to say whatever they need to say during this forum, so you can be informed and educated and make an informed decision come next Tuesday. I also want to add part of the housekeeping. We have Liz over here. We have a spotlight on her. She's our timekeeper. Yes, she has her paddles up. Yes, let's applaud Liz because hey, we live in I did briefly mention rebuttals. Rebuttals are 15 seconds if needed. And then, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to get started alphabetically, starting first with mayoral candidate Billy Jackson. The candidates will be giving their opening statements. It'll be 2 minutes. And so, Mr. Jackson, you can go ahead and begin. You can stand, yes.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Billy Jackson, and I am a resident of Decatur, Alabama. I've been in Decatur my entire life. I have, my parents were from Decatur, they were born in Decatur, my grandparents were born in Decatur. I attended school here in Decatur, I attended, just a couple blocks over, I attended St. Anne from kindergarten to eighth grade, and then Austin High School, and then I went on with my college career. I've served on the Decatur City Council for 29 years. Basically, everything that we've seen as a city for the past 29 years, nearly 3 decades, I've been a part of it. The natural transition is for me to move forward and to serve as mayor, because I think that at this particular time, we are running based on honesty, integrity, leadership, and experience. And I think that these are the qualities that we're sort of, that are needed for our city at this particular time and for our city to get. We're divided at this particular point. So I want to be that conduit so that we can come together as a city and to pull our city together. So that's a little bit about me. I'm sure that we'll get more about me as we speak during this dialogue, but I would just ask that you would listen intently, and on August 26th, it will cast your vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Up next, we have Mr. William Butch Matthews.
Thank you very much. Look at it, good evening to everyone. My name is William Butch Matthews. I have lived in Decatur for all my life. I was born in Selma, Alabama. Once said I would move here when I was 6 years old, but my sister said you were in diapers when you got to Decatur. I said, how did you know that? She said, I had to run and catch you to get you changed all the time. That's how I remember that. So quit telling everybody you moved here when you were 6 years old. Decatur's been a beautiful place. It's been my home. I went to Austin High School. I served on the council in 1992 to 1996. I worked with some gentlemen that you probably all know. Some of them have passed away, but they were good people, and I had a great opportunity to work with them and have a great working relationship, and we got some things done. One thing I would like to say is I love Decatur, Alabama. I'm in love with Decatur, Alabama. I've run for mayor more times than anybody in here probably. I've lost, I've got my feelings hurt, but I kept going, I kept my spirit up, and I'm glad I'm still running. This may be my last time, win or lose. But I'm looking forward to serving Decatur regardless if I win or I lose or whatever I do. I worked at Kroger, that's how you probably know me. I worked there for 49.6 years. My auntie said, you're gonna be just like granddaddy. Your granddaddy worked for the railroad for 50 years. I said, well, I'm gonna let him have that record. I left at 49.6, so anybody in the family want to break my granddaddy's record, I'd say, well, you're welcome to it. Decatur's been a beautiful place to live, to grow. I have 2 young boys who went to school in Decatur, and they, like me, they love Decatur also. If I get a chance to serve as mayor, I will be one of the probably the best mayors that you ever had to work for you. I believe in honesty, I believe in good integrity, and I believe in saving money and keeping our tax dollars safe and not wasting money. I think this, over the past 4 or 8 years, we're wasting a lot of money, and Decatur is bigger than that. We got to save tax dollars and protect tax. Okay, that's my time. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. Up next, we have Mrs. Susie Riley.
Okay, I hope I don't speak that well, but I did cut off. My name is Susie Wiley, and I've known these 2 gentlemen since probably a year after I moved to Decatur. I live in Decatur, Alabama. I love Decatur, Alabama, and I chose to live here. I may have not gone to the high schools, but I have been here for 30 years. My husband and I chose to live in Decatur, Alabama. I love it. I've served on many boards. I've served on the Princess Board. I was chosen as one of the 40 people to serve in this community of 58,000 to serve on the One Decatur plan. I served on the Morgan County Growth Association plan that only 12 people in the county were picked. I sit on the personnel board. I know every director in this town. I know what they do, who they are, and how to contact them. I am ready day one to take over. Just because I'm a woman, don't push me off. I'm a businesswoman. I have done more than, I've run a business. I know profit and loss, and I am also one that wants return on investment of anything we spend in the city of Decatur. I want to know when it will be paid off and how we will benefit by it. I love this town. I live here. I'm not going anywhere. And I've told all the people candidates, if you become mayor and not me, I will support you 100%, and I will also constructively criticize you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wiley. We are now going to go into the first question. Candidates are given 2 minutes each as well. And we'll start with Mr. Matthews. The first question is, given our city's lack of an emergency homeless shelter and insufficient affordable housing for low-income and marginalized residents, what are your plans to tackle these issues? 2 minutes.
I believe you're speaking of the homeless issue. We have a homeless issue here in Decatur, Alabama. I think we do have the homeless issue. We've always had a homeless issue. I don't know if what type of support, money-wise, the city is doing for the homeless, but I do know we need to do more. Working at Kroger, I got a chance to meet a lot of homeless people. A lot of those people, being homeless is not the worst thing in the world because they feel like they're doing the best that they can do. A lot of them were not. They were good people. They were just put in a position where their families let them down and didn't have nowhere to go. And as Christians, we need to make sure that we give these homeless people a chance. They're no different than us. So I would like to pledge that if elected, or even if not elected, I will support any monetary plans that the city will put on the table for the homeless. I think we need to look at that. I think Huntsville is doing a better job than most cities are. But they have a model program that maybe we can look at and, pattern ourselves on that. Because the homeless people, they're just people, just like us. They just had a little bad luck in their life.
The next question, or the same question, goes to Mrs. Wiley. And I can repeat it if you like.
It's hard to hear you because of this, yeah.
Okay. Given our city's lack of an emergency homeless shelter and insufficient affordable housing for low-income and marginalized residents, what are your plans to tackle these issues?
I can't believe it's 2025, and one of the issues for a candidate is talking about the homeless. If I am mayor, I am not going to talk to the executive directors and the people that are representing the homeless. I'm going to talk to the homeless. And I am going to find out from the homeless, what do they need? Why did they come to Decatur? How can we help them? And come up with a program to give to city council, and city council then can vote on it. You realize the mayor has no vote. The mayor has a suggestion, and the mayor people can promise you things, but the city council has to vote on it. Okay? But I want to meet with the homeless. I want to hear from their mouth to my ears what they need, not from a spokesman of theirs who is getting a salary. I want to hear from the people themselves.
Earlier, when we started the campaign, one of the things that I shared with the public was that my goal was to surround myself with people who are smarter than I. And I think that's important in this situation, especially when we're talking about homeless. Our homeless not only impact our businesses and our residents in this community, we have to think about them as well. But in dealing with the situation itself, we have to deal with people who have experience with that. I'm not an expert at that, so what I've done over the past 10 or 12 years is just work with organizations like Hands Across Decatur so that I can learn more about it and so that I can contribute to that problem that we have. It's a definite situation that we have here, but I do think that the city needs to do a better job of reaching out to those people who are experts in that area, who are smarter than I am and have dealt with that situation more so than I have. So I think that what we have to do is lean on them. If there's funding that's needed, then we need to try to approach it from that situation. But the bottom line is that we have to rely on them to lead us through that situation. Once we get up to speed, maybe we can do a better job of standing on our own. But any situation, the homeless, mentally ill, any other situation that we deal with, we have to have people who are dealing with those situations first and foremost, and allow them to lead us through the process.
Our next question, and this will go to Susie Wiley first, Mrs. Wiley. Many people are concerned about the increasing number of vacant buildings along Second Avenue, where we're on Mold Street and the Beltline. We seem to be losing our local small businesses, and many buildings in these areas have been vacant for years. Meanwhile, the city seems focused on building new buildings rather than revitalizing existing ones. Question is, what are your plans to encourage economic development and to revitalize our city? Some cities use a vacancy tax. Would you be open to such a proposal? This is for Susie.
I am not in favor of increasing any taxes. And it is not up to the mayor to say increase the taxes. Why do we not have stores and businesses on Second Avenue? We have a group, okay, that is supposed to be doing that, but they're making plans for the future of parks and ball fields, downtown Decatur, moving buildings from buildings. There are 16 or 18 stores on Second Avenue empty. Do you all know that? Now, you want to know why I know that? Because I went down and counted them. I said, what is going on? When I first moved here, I loved going downtown because there were places to go. The people in charge of development and growth, okay, is the mayor to lead the chamber, lead the economic development, and say, what do we need in this town? There's people getting paid to bring businesses to Second Avenue. Why aren't they doing it? Okay, and we're sitting here and allowing our tax dollars to go to these organizations that aren't doing enough to bring business that you and I go downtown on a Thursday night and shop a little and maybe have dinner. There are places, I think there's like 3 places to go. Why have we not concentrating on getting people downtown? I, as mayor, will put a team together of the people who are now getting paid to do that, to do their job.
Mr. Jackson.
I think that, this is probably the shortest answer that I give tonight. We have a director of economic development, and it's very simple. If that person's not doing their job, then we don't need that person on board. It's as simple as that. So we have to have the people who are working at City Hall do the things that they're hired to do. And as mayor, I'm accountable for that. And I would have to make sure that each person who is hired by the city to do a certain job, including our director of economic development, is doing their job. So we do have too many buildings and too many businesses that are vacant, and we've got to have a person or a group that is going to address that issue from a city point of view. So we've got to encourage businesses to come here. I've met with business owners in Huntsville already. A lot of them want to locate in Decatur. We just got to facilitate them coming here. So our our people who are set up to do those things just have to do their jobs. I'm sorry, and that's where
Mr. Matthews.
Downtown has always been a challenge for Decatur, Alabama. If you remember, back in the day, they had those canopies going up and down, they tore those down and making that look brighten up downtown. One of the most important things that's going on right now is you got Calhoun College moving down here, you got residential going on down here. Bringing people downtown certainly would enhance all of the business opportunities that's there. I believe in public funds and private funds meeting to make things happen. So these vacant buildings that we have down here, I think we need to have a program that will help these businesses revive the program up to their standards so they can open a business and be successful. And moving people down here, having people to live down here, maybe residential apartments are going on. The more people you have downtown that lives downtown, I think that's going to make downtown a more exciting place to be. Years ago, I was on the council and we earmarked, we earmarked money to build a convention center downtown and bought the property. But as we went on, the property was sold, so Eagles was built, so we didn't have anything downtown. A convention center downtown would have helped and nurtured the possibility of people moving downtown and wanting to come downtown and be part of downtown. Even if for good, I don't know if there'll be major injuries, but something, restaurants downtown would be good to have. And everybody working together, making sure downtown is part of our economic development plan. I do believe downtown still has a good chance, especially with Calhoun College going down. 15 seconds, that's all. Thank you.
Our next question, what 2 or 3 practical steps would you take to make Decatur's municipal government more transparent if elected? Please address strategies with particular focus on public safety administration and improving accountability around government expenditures. And this will go to you first, Mr. Jackson.
in order to make this more transparent, we've just got to open up the lines of communication. We have done a poor job of communicating. We have, when it comes to our budget, recently we did a $92 million budget, and in our public setting, even though it was on the website, even though you could all see it, we did that budget in a matter of an hour. There's no way possible to do a $92 million budget in an hour. So what we've got to do is we've got to open up our line of communications. We've got to open up everything that we do. When we're doing a budget, you need to have access to that. You need to be able to see it online. You need to be able to come to City Hall and experience that budget process with us. But when I see Mark Ray in the audience, and Mark will tell you, when we did budgets way back in the 90s, we would spend literally 8 hours a day for a week going through that budget, the entire council. Now, we don't do that. That's how we learn about our city. And so everything that we do has to be transparent. It's not just our budget, it's not just our spending, it's our police department, it's our fire department, everything that we do, because you're a part of our city. We're representatives of you. And if we don't allow you to be a part of the process, then we're not being transparent. And one of the things that I intend to do as mayor for the citizens of Decatur is to be transparent in every regard. So that includes budget, that includes all of our practices, that includes all of our processes. So I want you to be involved. I encourage you to be involved. I'm going to have community meetings with you and everything else that we can possibly do to restore the communication that we once had in our city. So I think that that's a way that we open the lines of communication, is just through transparency. So that's where I am. Thank you.
Mr. Matthews.
When we talk about a budget, and we talk about being transparent and making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do in terms of making a budget public or to the public. But a budget is just a process to find out the needs and the wants. $92 million budget is a pretty long budget, and it's not that difficult because we got money. Your home budget would probably be more difficult to budget out than a $92 million budget because you don't have any money for bread and milk. You got to make sure you can get the diapers or whatever, and it can be very difficult. So your needs and your wants are very, very important when we're trying to get a budget. Spending time on the budget is a plus. I'm from the old school. In 1992, my first budget, we practically lived down at the Holiday Inn for 2 days, trying to make sure everybody understood what we were trying to do. Because 4 people on the budget at that time had never done a budget before. And it was a learning experience for everybody. And it will continue to be a learning experience. Now, letting people know what's going on, if they want to come to the budget, I think that's great. But you can't make anybody come find out about a $92 million budget. They really don't want to have any parts of that. But making it available, making sure they know when it's going to be, making sure you're going to have somebody to answer any questions that may come up during the budget process, I think that's great. I do believe that doing the budget, we can do a better job of letting everybody know what's going on, how long it's going to take. And I think we'll be successful if we do that. But budget's not very difficult. It's an easy process, and it can be done, and it could be integrity and transparency, all that can be involved. Everybody wants a good budget, but you don't know you're going to have a good budget unless you have everybody in the process, your needs and your wants.
Mrs. Wiley.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for putting on this forum. I think it's wonderful, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity for all of you. I'm going to talk about the budget, but I'm also first going to talk about communications. If I become mayor, the first thing I'm going to do is go to IT, and we're going to straighten it out. So everyone in this room can go to the website and figure out what is on that website and how to get there quickly. And I know many, many people that have tried to use that website and you can't find anything. We're going to make it simple and easy. And, you know, there's an old phrase, keep it simple, stupid, and everybody can use it. I go there and I know how to use it and I can't find things. Now, the budget, first of all, I'm going to talk with the directors. And nobody's going to come 3 months later and say, oh, I need 4 more people. Oh, I've got to buy this. Why did you put it in the budget the first time? When you're doing your budget for the year, if you do, you put down all your expenses, what you anticipate them to be. You don't come back and say, oh, I forgot this. And this is what we're doing over and over. That all the money that they allocate comes from not replacing people that retire. So there's extra money, so they say, oh, we got another 100,000, let's have a consultant study this. No, those days are done if I become mayor.
So with this next question, the time will now be a minute and a half. And we'll start with Mr. Matthews. The question is, for many years, the Carrie Matthews Recreational Center has declined with little funding to fix issues. Now, we know recently the city council passed, approved to funnel money into renovating that building, but what will you do to provide equitable and accessible parks and recreational opportunities into all areas of Decatur?
First of all, the Carrie Matthews Center needs to be rebuilt completely. We don't need to start sinking any money into the Carrie Matthews. It's been there over 50 years. It has served its purpose. Now, an opportunity to build a better and a bigger and a nicer Carrie Matthews is the day that we see right now. We spent $190,000 for the architect to come in and do the studies about what's wrong with Carrie Matthews, and then we're gonna talk about how we're gonna fix it. How much it's gonna cost, we don't know. How long it's gonna last, we don't know. There's too many unknowns in Carrie Matthews being restored. It would be nice to get the community together and to put together a brand new Carrie Matthews. I'm a representative of Carrie Matthews. She was my kinfolk. And it's a great honor to have that place. And it served its purpose. Now is a chance to build a bigger, better, stronger, newer Carrie Matthews that would be great for our children in the future. If we just patch it up and give it a Band-Aid, in the future, it won't be anything but what it is now, a worthless building. A brand new Carrie Matthews with a state-of-the-art audio room, stage. The community can come together and really put together a Carrie Matthews that we all can be proud of, over the next 30 years. So I hope and I pray that we build a new Carrie Matthews.
Mrs. Wiley.
Okay, Carrie Matthews has been an issue for 5-6 years. What are those children doing? Where are they going? Why are we waiting so long? And I agree with Butch. Build a new one. They deserve it. Call it the same thing. Call it Carrie Matthews the second, but build a new one for the children.
I think first and foremost, we have to always look at costs. People of District 1, as their representative, have called on me to rebuild, well, not to be rebuild, but to restore Carrie Matthews. And the reason for that is because we have had everything in there from family reunions to repasses to weddings, anything, class reunions, anything that you can think of, we've had at Carrie Matthews. So people wanted that community center to be saved. The last city council set aside $1.8 billion to restore Carrie Matthews because they knew the importance of Carrie Matthews to the community. The question was, though, how do we do that and what are we going to do in other communities? I am a firm believer that as a representative of that community, that I need to do what the people of that community asked me to do. And what they asked me to do was to restore Carrie Matthews. But we recently tore down TC Alma. And TC Alma, a perfectly good building, should not have been torn down. It was a perfectly good building. Of course, we're going to have to take things based on dollars. We need to restore, well, not restore, but we need to do something in far southeast Decatur. We need to do something in far southwest Decatur. We need to, if we're not going to use Fort Decatur as a rec center, we need to do something in this community itself. We've got to restore our recreational facilities. When you look at Huntsville and other cities, they have 11 to 15 rec centers. Thank you.
Many residents face significant challenges accessing essential resources due to inadequate public transportation and lack of walkability. For example, a wheelchair user in District 3 is unable to access grocery stores due to a lack of sidewalks and crosswalks, and NARCOG was recently unable to provide transport for 4 days. Furthermore, at $4 a round trip, our current system poses a significant financial burden for those who really depend on it. As mayor, the question is, as mayor, what detailed plans do you have to improve public transportation and pedestrian infrastructure? And that question first goes to Mrs. Wiley.
I think the first thing we have to ask ourselves, and as mayor, how many people would use public transportation? Okay, are they using public transportation to go to a job? I'm in favor of that. Where are we going? Where would you, I don't know where I would take public transportation. And do we need more walking trails? We have bike trails I never see anybody on. Maybe at Point Mallard, we see a couple of people on the bike trail, but we keep investing money and money into these things, thinking they will come. Getting a bus route, I mean, I don't know if you've ever taken a bus. I lived in a big city. To get downtown to go to work, I had to take 3 buses. Well, that was public transportation. Where are we going to put these buses? Where are they going to go? Around Decatur, to the library, to 2nd Avenue, to Bank Street? I don't know. So as mayor, I would have to look into it, first of all, to see how many people are going to use it before we invest into it. And NARCOG is a government agency, and I don't know why we're butting into a government agency.
I think that we have to look at what we have now, and we have an narcotic transportation system that if we have to research whether we need to fund it more. I've been in Decatur long enough to realize that, I was here when we had a public transportation system. Public transportation system, because it was not being utilized, was not able to stay afloat. So I think that we're gonna have to look at other ways of transportation and see what we have and what will work. But until then, we have to fund NARCOG at a higher rate to make sure that we have transportation for all of our citizens. Then we have to look at that as part of our budgeting process. But there is no excuse for us not to have accessible sidewalks and things that make for public use for our handicapped citizens. There's just no excuse for that at all. We've had grants that have taken care of us cutting in our sidewalks and making sure that our handicap accessible, that they be handicap accessible for our citizens. So if there's a problem, then we need to look at that. But there's just no reason that we should not have that available for all of our citizens. We have got to look at different ways of taking care of our transportation issues for our citizens. And if that's funding, greater funding, then that's what we need to do. But at that particular point, I just think that we need to research that a little bit. Thank you.
Well, like I said before, I've worked for several times. One of my subjects that I like to talk about is we do need public transportation in Decatur right now, not later on. And I say that for a reason. Back in the day, we did have a transit system, okay? And a lot of people used it. And I don't know why it was stopped, but it was stopped. At that time, we didn't really have a city that's graphically located where you can go around in a circle. The Beltline wasn't there. Now the Beltline is there, so even the simplest person can come up with a plan that says the bus will start at one point and can go all the way around the city, and you can get off that bus at any stop and maybe walk to the post office. You can get off at the Beltline and walk to a hospital. You can walk to a grocery store. It's around in a circle. Because I'm not a designer or anything like that, but I do know we have people in our community that can specialize in giving us a transit system that will be handicap accessibility, and it'll be a great thing to be able to get into your car, leave your car at home, and get on the bus and ride to work, get off the bus, come back home on the bus. It's got to be safe, it's got to be clean, and it's got to be on time. That will attract everybody to ride the bus every now and then. I think it would save the traffic. Traffic wouldn't be so bad. It will be a great thing for Decatur to really look at, regardless of where I be there. We need to look at a transportation system that's going to take people all around the city and get them where they need to go. Not only that.
Next question. If you win, what would be your first goal? I'm going to follow up by saying, if you do not win, How will you try to implement your goals and vision for Decatur? And Mr. Jackson, you will start first.
In winning the mayor seat, I think one of the first things that we have to do is do an inventory of all our departments. You have to understand this, that for the past 9 years, our department heads have not received evaluations. Now, the thing is that our department heads don't know if they're doing the right things, if they're not doing the right things. So we have to do an inventory of what our departments are doing, and we have to understand, they have to understand what their mission is. We have to understand what their mission is. So the very first and foremost thing that we're going to do is make sure that our departments are serving the citizens of Decatur in their greatest capacity. One of the things that we have, one of the problems that we have is, and many of you have experienced this, is that you call City Hall, you may or may not get an answer. I think that every phone call that comes into City Hall has to be answered at all times. And that falls, not accountability, as I said before, starts at the top. The new hire that comes in does not control those things. So if you have an issue, you need to be able to talk to somebody. But that comes in with all of our department and all of our department heads doing what they're supposed to do, doing what they're designed to do. So the very first issue for me is to get in there, do an inventory of our departments, make sure that our departments are carrying on what they're supposed to, and make sure that they're serving citizens of Decatur in the most efficient way that they possibly can.
Mr. Matthews.
Well, the first thing I would do if I was elected mayor, we're going to do an audit. We're going to make sure that any money that's missing is not going to be put on me or anybody in the administration. Money gets missing all the time. Let me tell you something else. I will build a relationship with each of our department heads and make sure that my expectations are their expectations. And if they can't meet my standards, it's either do what the mayor say do, or you're gonna have to hit the road. We got to find out and keep our city going in the right direction, and then going in the right direction, everybody can't go on that pony ride. Especially if they sit back doing nothing over the years and not being able to meet somebody's expectations. It may get a little sad sometimes, but if you can't meet the expectations of the mayor, then you don't need to be a city, you don't need to be a department head. That's the bottom line. We've got to work with these people that they can't be coached to come up to the expectations that they should. They're gonna have to hit the road. It's just simple as that.
Okay, on the first day of being mayor, I would have a meeting with all of the directors and put the groundworks together. Remember, I have been a businesswoman. I have done things. I'm a little tougher than the normal female because I've gone through a lot. I have had to learn to run a business on my own. And all of you, I can do it. I can do it. You would all be like really excited about what I can get done. But they would know what I expect from the directors. And one thing, and I agree with both Billy and Butch, it's communication, and I've been in the communication business all my life. And if anybody is a marketeer and a communication person, it's me. And I am so tired, and I'm sure you are too, of calling City Hall and no one calling you back. People call me to say they won't call me back, they won't call me back. I don't have the authority to make any director call back, but I can call and say, hey, can you call this person back? They're in trouble. Okay. Come on, people have issues. They have neighbor issues. They have sidewalk issues. They have issues that need to be resolved. But if directors won't call you back, I'm going to tell you as mayor, I get out of my seat and go down to their office or wherever they are and tell them, you call this person right now. Yeah.
What what partnerships will you form with local organizations, nonprofits, educational institutions, and businesses to support economic development? Mr. Matthews.
You know, we have several organizations in the city that is directly responsible for economic development. Industrial board, we believe it or not, the Decatur Utilities Board. All of these boards working together will stimulate economic development in our cities, in our communities, and the communication is very important. And if you don't develop some type of communications where economic development probably will never take place. Does Decatur need economic development? Yes, it does. Are we doing what we need to do for economic development? No, we haven't. There's always room for improvement when we talk about economic development, not just Decatur, but any city. Economic development will always be a challenge. And I don't know all the answers, but I do know this. We can sit down with some people and we can come up with some plans and some ideas that will stimulate economic development. Transportation is part of economic development. I'm talking about the buses again. Not only buses, but we ought to have a train coming through Decatur that can take you south of Birmingham and go to Nashville and then you go to New Orleans from Birmingham. We can do this. Transportation is part of the economic development.
Mrs. Wiley.
Okay, what is economic development? It's growth. It's growth of industries and good jobs for all of us in Decatur. And good jobs bring money. Good jobs bring spending. Good jobs bring money to the city so that your roads, your sidewalks, your garbage, your alleys get taken care of. We, economic development and the chamber, come on, in 30 years, we haven't had a new company come to this town. We've had expansion of 28 people here and 50 people there and getting abatements. But what new company has come here in 30 years and opened up a brand new factory here? What's that? So what has everybody been doing for all these years? Okay, talking about it. As mayor, we're gonna get things done. And all of you, you don't know me personally out there, but I know a lot of people in this world that can help us, that can, take Decatur and say, I'll bring a factory here. I'll bring something here. Why aren't we calling these people? Why aren't we on planes going places and bringing people to see our city? We're not doing it. So why is it allowed? Why is it being allowed that we don't have?
I think that we have to start and continue partnerships with people that we already have partnerships with. The Chamber of Commerce, Downtown Redevelopment Association, NARCOG, and we can get grants for our community, Industrial Development Board. But here's the thing. I think that we should continue those relationships, but those people, those organizations that we give money to facilitate business and economic growth, and I've used this word so many times because I think it's imperative that we use it, but accountability. We can't continue giving money to organizations and then they not carry out the mission that they're supposed to carry out. So, when people will say that I don't necessarily support the Chamber of Commerce, not true. I do support the Chamber of Commerce, but I expect the Chamber of Commerce to do what they're designed to do. They say that I don't support BDRA. I do support BDRA. But I don't think that anybody gets a free meal, and I think that if we're going to fund those organizations, that they have to uphold their end of the bargain.
So our last question, and it's back to 2 minutes now. Considering recent deaths and ongoing discussions regarding public trust, what is one specific measure you would propose to enhance police accountability and improve the mental health response indicator? And we will start again with Mr. Jackson. Yes, sir. Considering recent deaths and ongoing discussions regarding public trust, what is one specific measure you would propose to enhance police accountability and improve the mental health response indicator? 2 minutes.
I think that we've already started the process. When we started the process and we did the third-party review, we needed to understand what was required of us as a city, what we were lacking. And so we've done that, and people had criticized the fact that we spent so much money, but I don't know if there's a finite dollar amount that is too much for us to spend on getting something right when it comes to people's lives. We recently hired a new police chief, Chief Tory Mack, who has done an awesome job for the city of Decatur. He's come in, and police officers have come to me who were doubtful in the beginning and have said that they were very appreciative because Chief Mack and Deputy Chief Stisher have brought structure to our police department. So that, along with the fact that we need someone on a 24-hour basis who can offer mental health assistance to patients or just our citizens who've had a breakdown. We can't go into a situation and not have somebody available who can address a mental health situation. Nobody, if you're not an expert, and many of our police officers aren't experts, then we shouldn't expect them to be experts, but we should have somebody on call all the time. There should not be a lapse in that time period where we don't have somebody that we can reach out to and have them on the scene so that they can take care of that situation. We don't need situations that happen in our community ever again like we've had in our recent few months.
Mr. Matthews, you're next, and I can repeat the question if you need to. Okay. Considering recent deaths and ongoing discussions regarding public trust, what is one specific measure you would propose to enhance police accountability and improve the mental health response indicator? 2 minutes.
Billy and I, we don't agree all the time, but I agree 100% about the mental health situation. As we get to these days, we've got people behind their house, we got domestic problems, and the meltdowns are happening all of the time. I do believe we need to be more prepared and have someone that on mental health 24 hours on call, ready to go. As we grow, so does our problems grow in the mental health situation. That's why I'm so happy that we hired a new policeman. Chief Tory Mack. I think that was the most important thing that we could have done in this city is get a new police chief that's going to bring some ideas that we can buy into. Now, if we keep things as they were and not do the exchange that we need to do, well, we're going to continue to have problems with our policemen downtown, but all of the time. I think training our policemen to they'll know what to do in a situation where there's a hostage situation, a mental situation. And it's very important that we not only uphold that, but got to appreciate what our policeman does and our first responders. It's not like it used to be. It's a whole different job now. It's a whole different job for our first responders and our policemen. And I think we do need to continue to train these individuals so they will be able to handle any type of situation that comes before them.
Okay, I agree, but the police department has an advocate. Her name is Kate Anderson. And when there's a domestic abuse or somebody gonna shoot somebody or there's a suicidal, she is on duty 24/7. And I don't know if she's still there, but but she's the advocate for the police department that goes in to try to help the situation. Now, do we just need one? No, I think we need others, okay? And she has been very good at what she does. And I agree with Butch and Billy, our new police chief and our deputy police chief are really out there changing things. And the police department really is responding to it, which I think is wonderful because safety is the number one issue. When I go out and I talk to people, this is what they want is safety in this town. And when you move to a town, you're looking for three things: the best police department you have, the best fire department you have, and the best schools you have. And that's what we have in the one in Decatur, Alabama.
We will now move into closing statements, 2 minutes each. We will start with Mr. Matthews.
Thank you. I think one of the most important things that we can do as mayors and council people is be accountable to the people. We all have different ideas and we all have different songs that we sing. One of the most important things, I think we're running because we want Decatur to be a better city. And we all have different ideas. I'm running because I do believe over the years that the city has wasted so much money. This city spent $104,000 for a Christmas tree that's erected in front of this building every year. I saw the tree and I was kind of disappointed. We spent $190,000 to an architect for the Kerry Matthews. We put money into a pit hole. It's just like putting money into a used car. You don't know when it's going to stop or how much it's going to cost when you could have got a new car for a fraction of the cost. Over the years, I have worked with some people in the past, back in the day, Ray Nixon, Tommy Counts, Max Patterson, Bill Dukes, who was the best mayor Decatur's ever had. They would turn over in their grave if they knew what the city was spending on senseless things. $300,000 for a study of the police department to give us some answers that we already knew existed. $300,000, that's a lot of cheese. $104,000 for a Christmas tree, now come on now. That's a lot of cheese. I think we need to be better taxpayers. And if they knew how much money we were spending on Christmas trees and architectures and all of these different things. A lot of our forefathers have served on our councils and mayors in the past that's gone. They will be turning over in their graves right now. Because we have to do a better job.
Mrs. Wiley.
I would like to be your mayor. I really would. I'm a tough cookie, but I have a heart. I can compromise. You can tell me we could disagree on something, but if you can give me your facts, I can compromise. My number one goal for the city of Decatur is to make it fabulous. Make it a place that goes, wow, Decatur's on the move. Look at Decatur go. Let's worry about Decatur because they're taking things from us. They're taking business from us. They're taking people from us. Developers are coming in. They're building. And remember at the beginning, I told you, I'm one that believes on return on investment. If I'm going to spend $1, how long does it take me to get a return with a profit? I can stretch $1. I'm kind of frugal in my own way, but I can take $1 and stretch it. And I've told people before, I can get champagne on a beer budget. All you have to have is an imagination, and that's what I have.
Recently, we did a resolution that gave us an opportunity, I'll say, to build a parking deck for the Cooks Museum. And I voted no on that. And I voted no on that because what we essentially did was we wrote a blank check for a parking deck that we don't know the cost of. We tore down TC Allman, which was a $10 to $12 million facility that was in perfectly good shape. We did, as Butch mentioned, we bought a Christmas tree that was actually $116,000. We constantly cite people for not mowing the grass, and don't get me wrong, I expect people to mow their grass. I expect them to keep up their property. But it's hard to support that when we as a city are not maintaining our own property. We hire a person to oversee, I promise you, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but we hired a person in this term to oversee our community development, our planning, our building, and our engineering departments who had a background in neither of those disciplines. I voted no on those things. We did a $92 million budget in about an hour, as I said earlier. We commissioned a sports place on Modus Road. And the thing is that Modus Road, if we have a function at Jack Allen, or if we have a function at Austin High School, the road is so crowded that you can't get down it. We should have first done the infrastructure on the road before we did the sports place. So I would say this, I've been criticized over the years for voting no on things. But the thing is that I always put your interests first when I vote no on things. I'm always going to look at So, Lord, asking you to put your trust in me as mayor for the city of Decatur, because I'm going to make myself accessible to you. I'm at every forum that we have because I want you to hear my answers.
Let's give another round of applause to our candidates, our board. Very shortly, we'll be welcoming up our city council member candidates. We will begin in about 15 minutes. Thank you all. Hi, everyone. We will get started in just about a minute. We will get started. I do want to remind everyone that the League of Women Voters and the partner organizations did invite every single candidate who's running for office. So the invitation was extended to everyone, and we are thankful for those who are able to show up and share why they should represent you. So just a reminder to everyone. We're about to get started in just a moment.
Do you want to stand up here and get a picture?
I'm good.
All right, we are about to get started. I do want to welcome all of our city council candidates for each district represented here. We have District 1 tonight, 3, 4, and 5. Again, my name is Kenesha Dukes with Fox 54 News. It is a pleasure to be here and moderate tonight's town hall for the city council candidates. Just want to briefly go over some housekeeping rules. As far as the candidates are concerned, let's make sure we're respectful of each other and each other's time. Short and sweet, as far as those house rules for the candidates. For the audience, for those of you who are just coming in, let's be mindful of our candidates on stage who are speaking. Let's try to hold our applauses. And I know you may have a candidate that you support, but let's hold our applauses and make sure they're able to say what they need to. And we will go ahead and get started alphabetically. And before we do that, I do want to remind people that there is a timer here, Liz. Spotlight's on her. She's our timekeeper. We need that. And now we will go ahead and get started in alphabetical order. The first, before we get into that, we will do the opening statements before we get into our first question. And we'll start with Mr. Atkins.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Terrence Atkins. I'm a Decatur native. I am running for District 1. I'm a native of District 1. I have lived there the majority of my life. I'm a product of Decatur City Schools. Some of my outside activities are I am a member of the American Descendants of Slavery Advocacy Foundation. I am on the outreach team as well as the chapter resource and development. I'm also the co-founder of Standing in Power, which is a social justice organization that focuses on civic education and community engagement. I want to make sure that District 1 has someone that represents them well, someone who knows the district, and someone who's going to make sure that we keep District 1 how it is and progress through rebuilding and redeveloping District 1.
Up next, yes, we have Mrs. Sabrina Bay.
Good evening, my name is Sabrina Bay. I'm 52 years old. I have lived here all of my life in District 1. I thank everybody for coming out, and I thank all of my fellow candidates. And I just really would like for everybody to know that I am the only woman that is running for District 1. I feel like being a woman, no offense men, that we tend to see things differently. We tend to have a little bit softer heart for the needs of people. And I feel like that my goal is to make those needs a positive change for District 1, and not only District 1, but for the city also, because we need to bring Decatur back. Thank you.
Mr. Freeman.
My name is Barry Freeman. I'm 68 years old. I started school in 1963, Churchfield Elementary School. I went on to Lakeside Junior High School and Decatur High School, graduated in 1975. The reason why I'm running for this office because of the lack of servitude. We can do better than what we're doing. We gotta do better for our children. We gotta do better for our community strong, make cities strong, that will make Decatur strong. I believe in Decatur because this is the river city. This is the jewel of the Tennessee River. We lost it, but we're gonna get it back. We can do this. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Thank you. My name is Nick Perkins, running for City Council District 1. I've been in Decatur for about 6 years. I recently was working for Decatur Youth Services. I saw a lot of ins and outs of the city, a lot of the issues that need to be tackled, especially when it comes to leadership. So that is my position, to bring fresh new ideas, to bring fresh leadership to Decatur, to District 1, help it grow. My strong belief is Decatur will not grow until District 1 grows. Thank you.
Good afternoon and evening for everyone. I'm Mike Faruqi. I'm running for City Council for District 3. Nothing personal, it's the best district, so that's just. I'm a 27-year Army veteran. I retired out of Redstone Arsenal as a brigade commander. Thank you. I left command, and the Army gave me a choice, and it said you can go to Washington, D.C., or you can retire. And I said, okay. And then we moved to Decatur. Really loved the city when we first moved here. It's gone through a lot of changes, not all of them completely positive, but a lot of opportunity in the state and in the city still exists. And I think we have an opportunity as a council for the future to kind of bring that to everybody. It's been my honor and privilege to have served those 27 years in all kinds of units, special operations, airborne units, recruiting command. I'm an intelligence officer by trade. So I ask questions. That's one of the things I do. If you ever saw me on a city council meeting, you know I ask a lot of questions. And I mean every one of them, because we all should be getting answers from our council. Exactly. What I typically say, I've been to everybody's house just about in District 3, knocked on the doors. And I leave everyone with this. If you're happy with the way the city's been run for the last 5 years, don't vote for me. Thank you.
I'm Sarah French. I'm running for District 4. I live here in Decatur with 3 grown children that work full-time in Decatur. I got involved with the city about 2 years ago, and I'm very unhappy with the path it's been on. So I'm looking to invest my time. I think this is a full-time position, not a part-time position at the moment the city is in and the district is in. So I'll be working to do that if I'm able to do so. I just want to move Decatur forward and invest in the future of Decatur.
I'm Jamie Handley, and I'm running for District 4 as well. I was born and raised in Decatur, and I also lived in northern Madison County and in Limestone County. And I came back here in 2019 to take care of my mother who was in poor health. And I've seen a lot of things change here in this town throughout my life. And I've seen things at the city council and at the mayor's office that have changed. In my opinion, I feel we have a lack of leadership currently in those positions. And that's why I decided that I wanted to run for city council to try to help change some things. We need better parks, we need better infrastructure, the roads need fixing, we need communication, transparency, and all things. We just had a recent decision based on, and what I call a midnight under the table thing with the city council, where they supported building a parking garage with a Cook Museum. A lot of people said they'd like to have heard more about it before it happened. It may be a very good thing for the city. I'm not disputing that, but there was no communication, and that needs to change and needs to be fixed. And that would be one of the things that I would do if I'm elected. Thank you.
we got anybody from Southwest Decatur here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we got a crowd. That's good. Yeah, I'm Jason Post, and I'm running for District 4. You know where that is? It's over Southwest Decatur. But I have a plan for this city and for our district that's going to be good for the entire city. It's something that I've mentioned a couple of times. I've been told, no, you can't do it. Well, can't never do nothing. It's a simple plan. You know what's going to happen? I think it's Saturday. I think the Austin Black Bears are going to go out there and sell some mattresses for the football team, for the weight room, for the school. Why are they selling mattresses? This city has enough money to cut off $100,000 to fund that athletic program there. And another $100,000 to fund the Decatur Regulators. And there's nothing that unites a community and brings about pride more than the success of the local high school team. Now, I'm not talking about just football. We've got a world-class soccer field out there. We need to have a state championship for the soccer team. We need to take money and funnel it to our schools and designate it for the athletic programs. And that's my introduction. Good to meet you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Pam Rorsler, and I'm a candidate for District 4 City Council. I've lived in Decatur for 34 years. My husband Tom is here. Been married to him for 34 years too. This will be 34 years next month. I'm a business, Acorn to Oak Consulting, and I have a Bachelor's of Science degree in Human Resources from UAH. I'm also on the Personnel Board for the City of Decatur. Been there 12 years. I'm also on the Personnel Board, Review Board for Morgan County. I'm the chair of that board. I'm also president of the Decatur Women's Chamber, and also I'm on the board of the Decatur Morgan County Chamber of Commerce. So I spend a lot of time volunteering in this area. So what I'm going to do is to optimize Decatur, make it the best place to live, work, do business, and visit. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Angela Tom. I am a lifelong Decatur resident, grew up on Betty Street. I've lived in my current home for the past 20 years. Graduated from Austin, attended Calhoun and Athens State. And I'm running for City Council District 4 because I love my district. I spend a lot of my time there. That's where I shop. That's where I go to the grocery store. It's where I go get food. Serrano's is great, by the way. But I love my district, and I want to make it better. I want us to be, not just our district, but the city at large. I want us to be the best that we can be. And that's what I want to work for. I want to work with whoever else is elected up here. I want us all to work together as a group, a cohesive group, to improve our city. Thank you so much.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Harold Gilmore. I'm a native of West Palm Beach, Florida, married to the beautiful Hope Gilmore, and we have two lovely daughters, Dr. Tiffany Gilmore and Dr. Coley Savage. One graduated from the University of Alabama, other graduated from Auburn University, so we have a divided household. I'm a minister or the pastor of the Multi Life Church of Christ for the past 23 years. Educational background, I have a doctorate degree in counseling and theology. I'm running for city council in order to make Decatur a better place. We have a great city here, and I believe that with all of our help and us working together, we can make Decatur a place where we can all be proud to call home. God bless you. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, District 5, thank you. District 5, thank you.
We'll now begin with the first question. What policies or plans do you support to revitalize economically depressed areas in your district and also Decatur as a whole. And Mrs. Bay will start first.
Can you please repeat that? I was too busy waiting for him to go first.
No worries. What policies or plans do you support to revitalize economically depressed areas in your district and also Decatur as a whole?
That's a good question. I mean, hadn't the last several weeks been about money with the council? So, why did you have to start with me? I'm very hard. So
1 minute.
the policy, so, y'all really caught me off guard, I'm not lying. So, I just feel like some of the policies that we need are, for District 1, we need, better, well, I wasn't gonna say grocery stores, I was gonna say, transportation for elderly. Because I know that some of the elderly people that I've spoken with, they're worried about transportation because a lot of them have to walk because they don't drive. And I think that's unfair, especially in 90 and 100-degree weather, especially when the heat index is over 100 degrees. We do need grocery stores. We need some of the areas back the way that it used to be. And I firmly believe that once we start getting those areas back in District 1, it's going to be a better place. It's not just going to be a better place for District 1, but for the entire city. Thank you.
Mr. Freeman. Do you need me to repeat it? Yes, sir. What policies, what policies or plans do you support to revitalize economically depressed areas in your district, also Decatur as a whole?
Okay, well, we would not recreate the wheel. First of all, we have to get curb appeal back. You can't bring a business in with the city looking like it is. We gotta get it back pleasant looking. We gotta revitalize our community. We gotta start trimming our hedges, getting the cars off the block, making it appealing so that someone can come in and put a business in. You can't put a business in a dump. What we got? How many seconds? 30 seconds. Policies are in place. We have grass ordinance, we have rubbish ordinance, we have roads that need to be repaired. Policies in place, we cannot recreate it, but the policies that need to be done is that we need to do better. Not down anything that's already been done. We can start where you finish that. And we can do better, we will do better.
Mr. Perkins.
Thank you. So being that Decatur is a city of more than 12,000, and we have 5 districts, you have to have improved infrastructure. There are some places in District 1 that still have a flooding problem. So we have to have grants that will come in that will improve our infrastructure as far as the flooding. And with that, they can't bring in industries. District 1 is very low when it comes to revenue. So you have to have some type of business, or you have to have businesses to be able to come in and actually establish themselves to get that revenue into District 1 to upgrade and increase the property value. And with that, I would like to work with everybody on the council to get those ordinances and laws approved and increased so that we can do that and move District 1 forward. After that happens, Decatur will move forward as a city.
So there's a lot there. First off, District 3 does not live in a vacuum. District 3 is part of the city of Decatur. any vision for how District 3 is going to increase economic capacity or ability has to look at in a broader scheme, because we can't do it alone in District 3. We are different than all the other districts. We have a primarily no big industries in our area of operation. We have to understand that. We have to work hard at what is going to be the bigger vision for our city. We have to work hard at having a vision that's going to incorporate all of our people, all of our districts, not just my individual district, our individual district. It starts with that vision. We are creating monuments to sometimes silliness that are going to exist forever that we have to build around. That we won't be able to put housing in certain areas because of $52 million rec center. Because of that, we've got to understand our constraints and move forward with a complete.
Hi, I believe from talking to people in my district, one of the big things is property owners keeping up their property. So I believe we need to follow guidelines with how you keep your home and cleaning up your trash. Maybe have community days where people who care about the community come out and clean it up together. Doing things with our unhoused to where they have better places to stay and make sure it's clean and safe. I think if we all work together, the city will improve itself without any problem.
All right, I think in terms of economic development and trying to make things a little more prosperous for the residents of Decatur as a whole, not just in District 4, we need to be looking at more jobs, more good jobs. I've heard it said that there hasn't been an industry located in Decatur in over 30 years. That's bad. That means we have mediocre jobs, but not good jobs. So I would work as a part of the city council, talking to people, working with the other members of the council, working with the planning commission, working with others, trying to fix that. And in addition, let's look at some of the cities around us like Athens and Madison specifically. They have a development called Cliff Farms up on Highway 72. Huge number of stores there, restaurants, lots of good places to go to and things to do. Those would be things I'd be willing to work with on the planning commission. And I think that is a fault of the current leadership.
Well, I say get a job, because we're fortunate. We live where there's the lowest unemployment in the nation, it's right here. Jobs are everywhere. If you don't like a job, there's another one. I mean, there's more jobs out there than you shake a stick at. So that's just telling you that. Another thing, we have the good fortune of being located right next to Huntsville, Alabama. You know what Huntsville is? It's the largest city in Alabama, and it's going to remain that way for the next 100 years. If you look at our past largest city in Alabama, Birmingham, what'd you see? You saw communities outside of it. You saw Alabaster, different areas. Who are we in Decatur? We're a community outside of Huntsville. How do we grow? We follow what we already see. Hoover, wildly successful football team right now. Alabaster, Thompson High School, wildly successful. And we, folks, it's not about football. It's also about. Like, I'm gonna say this right here.
Thank you.
I'm not done yet.
We gotta wrap it up for the next candidate. Thank you so much.
Well, what I will say is high school sports is big business. Remember that.
So economic development starts with the city being attractive to whatever development you're looking at. And there's places in Decatur that look really good, and there are other places that don't. So it's the basics. So in District 4, what I plan on doing, if elected, is to go through the district myself periodically and look for things that are good and praise those people that do those good things, and also look for things that need improvement and work on getting those things done. The broken windows is what we need to look at, make everything attractive. And one problem that we have that's a good problem is that our unemployment rate is so low that sometimes companies don't want to come in because of that. That's a good problem to have, but it is a problem.
Y'all forgive me, I'm having temporary contact, and it's making some horrible halos. I can tell right in my eyeballs. Can't see very well up here. What I would like to see happen is, here the past several years, we focused a lot on tourism in Decatur and bringing in tourists and building things to attract tourism. I'd like to see us reel that back in and focus on the building of Decatur and building things for our citizens and putting, activities for kids and transportation for them to get there, also for our elderly. We've got to focus on us. We've got to clean up our properties. We've got to make Decatur a nice, inviting town for the people that have already invested in it. And I think by doing that, we will attract new people that want to live here because they see how great it looks. Thank you.
In District 5, we want to continue to build upon that which has been built upon already, to continue to improve our roads in our schools, recreation for our kids, for the whole 9 yards. But let me start by saying this. I'm not running for the city council just for District number 5. I'm running for the whole city of Decatur. I want to make sure that every district be treated equally. And I would say the have and the have-nots. When the haves are giving to the have-nots, everybody will have something. So we need to make sure that every district have exactly what they need in order for Decatur to be the type of city that it needs to be. When people come to the city of Decatur, they don't look for District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They look at the city as a whole. And we want to make sure that every place in Decatur, every district is treated fairly and equally, so we can all survive and we can live a better community.
When it comes to District 1 specifically, we have to go back to the blueprint that was already laid. Vine Street and Moulton Street were the economic corridors of District 1. So with my plan, what I'm doing is calling Vine Street and Moulton Street the downtown corridors. There's a lot of money out around because everyone is redeveloping downtowns. So we have to give that a name and use the history of that area to get some funding into that area. We need grocery stores in District 1. Everyone I have spoken to when I knocked on doors said that we need grocery stores. Having grocery stores make for small businesses, which spurs the economy in District 1. So we have to do the large scale businesses so that we can bring in small scale businesses so that District 1 can grow and be in parity with the rest of Decatur.
The second question, which is also a minute response. As Decatur grows, how will you work to improve infrastructure, such as public transportation and access to recreation and basic necessities, such as grocery stores, as some of you all have mentioned, in your district and Decatur as a whole? And Perry Freeman will start first. As Decatur grows, how would you work to improve infrastructure, such as public transportation, and access to recreation and basic necessities, such as groceries, in your district and Decatur as a whole?
Okay, as the city grows, we will have to grow. We have to grow as a community. We know that our Hispanic brothers, they have 2 grocery stores right on the other side of our district. They made it appealing, so they would put one there. In District 1, we getting there. But it's gonna take time. Everything is in place, but they gotta do their jobs to clean the roads, clean the right-of-ways, to make our children safe, to put up a pavilion at Bankston Park, so they have a place outside the street of open hoops. They don't have a decent place outside the street hoops in District 1, nowhere. Nowhere safe for them to go play, nowhere safe for them to go do anything, to do any activity after school, 15 seconds. Let's take care of our children, y'all. They are our future. If we don't take care of them, they won't take care of us when we get older.
Rural District 1, you have to get past the loopholes from downtown. There are a lot of developers who run away from District 1 because they're so imposed that engineers come in and restructure their plans. So they have to pivot to other people who are selling those contracts. And that turns away business. So you can't get your grocery stores or your housing development if they can't get through those loopholes. To do that, the council has to get together and actually be on one accord so that those loopholes can be loosened, so that those industries and businesses can come in to generate that revenue to bring up District 1 and bring those things to D1 so that the citizens can move forward and have the things they need. You can't jeopardize the efficiency of one district at the expense of another. That's just wrong. It needs to be equal across the board.
Okay, infrastructure has to grow smartly. And by that, I mean, it has to grow within the capabilities of our area. We will not become Huntsville overnight. We have to grow smartly, develop it slowly, smartly, meeting the needs of our people. Schools are part of that equation. One of the biggest impediments we have right now is our zoning regulation. Because as it sits right now, if you have a housing area coming up in your district, and we've had several in District 3, those housing areas, those districts in our district, there was no requirement for a neighborhood meeting. A community was unaware of the majority of the things that were going on. And we can do better than that. Notification should be first, and then having mandatory neighborhood meetings so the community gets together and it says, we would like to have these things in our community. Hey, developer, how I can help us with that?
I'm going to have a different answer than most. I do not believe Decatur is ready to grow right now. I believe the next 4 years is about healing where we're at, cleaning up where we're at, taking care of what we need to take care of, getting our departments back where they should be, getting our city offices back where they should be. Then, after that is done, Decatur will be ready to move forward, and I will be happy to lead them forward.
All right, I get to follow that. All right, so let's see. In terms of infrastructure improvements and so forth, we have a zoning commission, we have a planning commission. Those people that are on that, their jobs are to look at what we need, what we want to encourage to move here, and zone the property that is conducive to those buildings and those businesses being located on them properly so that they can relocate here. We always seem to be playing behind the curve on everything. Look at Athens, they just got a food city. Why didn't Decatur get a food city? Huntsville's had several. Okay, we're talking about grocery stores. Why not build a food city in District 1 center? The planning commission, the zoning commission, they're not doing their jobs. That's what the problem is.
Before I get started, who's got the clock?
Right there.
Who's cutting off the mic?
Not me.
You cutting the
Let's go ahead and get started. If you need me to repeat the question, I will.
Please repeat the question.
Yes, sir. As Decatur grows, how would you work to improve infrastructure such as public transportation and access to recreation and basic necessities such as groceries in your district and Decatur as a whole?
It's all about Huntsville sports. Let me tell you, how is Decatur going to stand out against Madison? Madison's per capita income is way higher than ours. No way will their attention. we're gonna sell it. They'll see hometown get a say, and everybody's fired up about their local high school teams. So folks, it's a winner idea, it really is. Let me get out the money for heading it up.
So as I walk the district, the thing I hear the most about is roads and how the roads are bumpy after DU came through and worked on our sewer systems and patched the roads and didn't pave them. So that is a huge issue, the infrastructure there. Also, the line coming into Decatur, it's a big mess. So we do need that other river bridge coming across so that those people who might want to work in Huntsville and drive, or people that maybe live in Decatur, work in Huntsville, or vice versa, they don't want to go across that mess every day. So that's a long-term project, but that's something that's really needed. And the roads are too. Luckily, we are paving some more roads, but we got more to go.
I think we're very fortunate in District 4 because we have 3 grocery stores. And that's a lot to have in one district, and that's amazing. But unfortunately, they're still not accessible to everybody, including a lot of our elderly, where something even 3 blocks away can be a challenge. And I know we have a bus system that you can call and they will come, but I've been told by several elderly people that sometimes they're not that dependable, that they're short-staffed and they can't always come when people need them to come. So I think we need to increase funding for our bus system. We need to work on also getting a system to get kids to the recreational facilities that we have so that everybody can participate. And as far as our infrastructure and roads, we need to work on our roads. We need to do, Ms. Wurzler said, and work with the state and push the state to fix the why so we can all get to Huntsville better and faster. Thank you.
In District 5, we're really blessed that we have grocery stores and things of that nature that's very close to our district. That's why, once again, I stand and say tonight that I'm doing this bunch of work across the aisle. Make sure every district have exactly what they need. When it comes down to public transportation, sitting on the council, I will look and see and talk and find out exactly what we need when it comes down to public transportation. Decatur is a big circle. It's a big circle. And a lot of people do not have public transportation. And so those are things, as a council member, I will sit down and talk and look and make sure we find the things we need.
When it comes to infrastructure, especially with District 1, we had an $18 million bike trail that was supposed to come through that area. With that grant money that came out of the destruction of Black communities in the 1956 Highway Act, there was also a grant under it that was for buildings. It was for actual buildings. So I think we have to, one, get back to our community and see what it is that they need inside of their communities when it comes to infrastructure. We also need a master plan that's not a Huntsville Junior plan, a plan specifically for Decatur and what we need. How many highways do we need? How many bridges do we need? We need experts to come in and do that. And then as the council, we divvy up throughout the city how we attack the plan that is put into place.
So in District 1, we're unfortunately not blessed with multiple grocery stores. We do need a grocery store, even if it's just a mom and pop store, which now I have a mom and pop down like a mile from my house, and it was great for those neighbors that were within walking distance. But even if it's to get started with, I'm fine with that, but I honestly feel like that we need a bigger, it doesn't have to be a chain like Walmart or what have you, but just something that has more options. As far as rec centers for our kids in District 1, They have nothing. We don't need to put a Band-Aid on remodeling Terry Matthews for these children. We need to get it modernized and go from there.
Then the next question, which is also a minute for the response, is what is your role in maintaining proper decorum and respect between council members, the mayor, and citizens? How will you respect established norms for civility within the council and with the citizens? And we'll start with Mr. Perkins.
Great question. To establish a good decorum, that starts with conversation. Conversation with the council itself, everybody who's on that dais, and conversations with your district individually. My plan is also to have those monthly meetings with District 1 to see what they want, to see and to give them what they deserve. I can't come to the council and present and be an advocate if I don't know what they need or what they want. And as far as the council goes, we have to respect each other. And that comes with being an adult. I don't care if I don't like you, but I should be able to respect you and respect your opinion, and to know that we can come to some kind of common ground to come to a decision that will benefit Decatur and the District 1 as a whole.
Any questions, please? No, okay, same question. That's a difficult one for me, because if you didn't notice or not, I'm the one who routinely has issues with how the city council runs, and here's why. If you look at this, back of this paper everybody got today, it says city council's role is to act as a legislative body. When a legislative body does not listen to its citizens, it is going to fail, and ours has. We are not able to speak like we were two years ago at council meetings. Our work sessions, we're not able to speak at our work sessions. So civility starts when people start listening. And I took an oath in the Army to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And when I see a domestic enemy, I go after it. Thank you.
I believe we've had a great reference of how not to behave by the current council that we have. And that's one of the reasons I feel like when you show someone respect, they show it respect back. It's simply as being kind to one another, whether it's on a keyboard, behind a fake profile, whatever it is. If we respect each other, then we should be fine. I mean, that's all we need is respect and work together and compromise on what we don't understand or disagree with. And the point is to make Decatur better. And if we work together, that will happen. But we have to get the childness out of the
way. First of all, I agree with what the constituents here have said about the current city council. I do believe that there's been a lot of yang, if you will, with them. But the city council and the mayor are elected officials. They are in a position of respect. And I think there's been a lot of disrespect shown to them in the past 5 years. So I believe that that needs to change, and the new city council and the new mayor, number one, they need to listen, as has been said, to you, the people, but in addition to that, there needs to be some respect shown by the people for those who are in the elected position. Do they listen? Is there a forum to change things? Yes, it's called the election. It's what we're about to have now. This time 5 years, usually 4 years. There's a venue to change things, and that's the proper way to do things.
High school sport. I'm just kidding. Hey, you always catch more flies with honey when you do a vinegar. I find it's always best to treat others as you want to be treated. Whenever I'm on city council, that's how I treat the fellow councilmen or council ladies, or the people, the citizens as well. They're the boss, they're paying the taxes. And, you gotta get along with everybody. I've got experience, of the Alabama Robotics Technology Board. I became chairman of it. I was on the Tennessee Valley Trade Center Board. I became chairman of it. I was on the Decatur Industrial Development Board. I became chairman of it. You let me to city council, I'll probably chairman of it too. Thank you.
So first off, the city council meetings, the people that speak at those meetings, I would say they need to be either a resident of Decatur or have a vested interest in Decatur before they can speak. I do agree with time limits, and yes, we need to treat each other with dignity and respect, absolutely. And for those people who don't do that, then there needs to be repercussions for that. And everybody needs to go by whatever the rules are and make sure that we don't have issues in our meetings.
Other questions?
I am a firm believer in mutual respect, especially during the council meetings, and I believe the best way if I'm elected as a council person, the best way I can be respectful to the people whom I represent is to be open and honest and transparent with them, not just at the meetings, but all of the time. You have to let people know what's going on. You don't go to a meeting or an agenda and just spring things on them and everybody's scratching their heads wondering what's going on and where that came from. You have to be open and honest. And I hope that the people that come to speak at the meetings, reciprocate that respect, and as long as you're respectful to them and professional with them, that it will be returned to the council, and that's what I'm hoping for. Thank you.
I agree with everything everyone has said. I believe that it starts with respect. Sitting on the council, I will listen. Even if we don't agree, it's my job to listen to you.
That's right.
And respect goes both ways. I think those individuals who's talking to the council, at least respect the position of those individuals. So once again, as your councilman, I might not agree with you might not agree with me, but one of the things I will do, we will always learn to respect one another. Secondly, I believe that when the council comes up in front of the public, we should be united together. Every knockout, drag out that we have should be behind closed doors. Once we come out to the council, to the public, we should be united. Certainly, have your voice, take your stand, but let us be united and work together.
When it comes to me, I live my life and I know the rule. Treat people how you want to be treated. For the past almost 2 years, we have been going to city council meeting, and I have gave the councilmen more grace and more respect than they deserve, whether they ever gave me. So as a councilman, I will be a listening ear, and I will also be respectful to those people who come into my chambers. I will listen to what they have to say, and I will try to figure out solutions and things to get what needs to be done from them. I feel like the last council didn't do that, so I hope that with the new council, we'll be able to listen to our constituency.
I believe that respect is earned when it's given. I believe communication is key. If you listen to people and listen to what they have to say, then that goes a very, very long way. If you're honest with the people, be transparent with them, we're not always going to agree on everything. We're going to agree to disagree. That's a given. We're a division. Decatur has divided itself horribly. And we have got to be more communicated with each other, and we've got to start earning respect to get respect and earn the trust of each other. And that goes when you're at the council meetings, and that goes if one of us are on the next board.
Well, there's a word called servitude. That is your attitude towards service, a serving one. The former council had an attitude of entitlement. I see it. Entitlement. It's not to be among the council, we are to serve the citizens, not our own agendas, not our own motives. We are here to serve the citizens of Decatur. And it's our job to serve them cheerfully because we're getting compensated for this job. Some do it for love, some do it for other things. But we got to do it for the right things, the right attitude towards serving the citizens of Decatur.
The next question, which is also a minute. What 2 or 3 practical steps would you take to make Decatur's municipal government more transparent if elected? Please address strategies with a particular focus on public safety administration and improving accountability around government expenditures.
Okay, unlike some who believe that the city council should operate as a board of directors, they are a legislative branch. So as a legislative branch, they should be bringing resolutions to fix problems that we have. Some of the things that needed to happen, transparency, accountability, simple things. Like, you should not have to click through 17 different documents on the city website to figure out what the agenda item is really about. A small blurb, executive summary, which the Army's been doing for ages, to tell you what this thing's about and what the cost is going to be. Because you can immediately look at it and say, yeah, I don't think that's a smart decision. We could use that money elsewhere. You could make that decision at home quickly. Right now, we don't let that happen. Our bills are also hidden and clouded into this lack of transparency we have an idea on how much money we spent. We have an idea on who received that money, but we don't know what it was for. There is no tying it back to a budget item. We can say, does it make sense? The police chief buying more drones, things like that. Safety, that's a big issue. And I think we're moving in the right direction. I'll just leave it at that.
I don't believe transparency is an issue if you have the right people in place. Like if you have people that believe in being honest and transparent and hold themselves accountable, then they're fine. It's the ones that are leading the city and covering up things, HR board, fire department, police department, that's where the problem comes in. So as long as you get leaders in that will be transparent and will be honest with you, then there's no worry about transparency.
There may be no worry about transparency, but still, we don't have transparency because we need transparency. That's what everybody's asking for. They want to know what's going on. And that's one of the big things that needs to be fixed. Get the right people in the right places that will provide the information to the people and change the policies and change the way things that are done, even at the city council level. Mike just pointed out they need what he said multiple times that we were saying called love. The bottom line up front, I know exactly what that is from my work. And they need to give us a summary of what is being said and what's going to be covered in meeting. So that, as he said, you have to go through 17 pages of information. I get tired of just going through the information. I'm looking at it myself. Safety, same thing. We need communication, we need transparency, and that would fix a lot of the problems.
Well, transparency is, I think, a very important thing. And I think the individuals as a council representative owes it to the individuals in their district to be available to answer any and all questions. I heard a great idea earlier that I'll definitely implement is a monthly or quarterly meeting with people of the district, just to give everybody a heads up on what's going on. And I think you all can tell from me talking tonight, I'll be glad to share with you all the details. If I won't sugarcoat it, I'll just tell you honestly. It's not how it is. There's nothing to hide in the city government. We should all be out front in front of everybody. That's what I got. Thank you.
So I agree on the safety part. I think we've got that under control. We'll wait and see how that goes. As far as transparency, I agree in the council meetings, there does need to be a little bit more explaining on what's going on, especially for those people who are watching on YouTube. It's a little bit harder to follow on YouTube than it is maybe inside the council chambers. So, transparency, I am for that, and there are certain things sometimes that you can't be transparent about right then, but it needs to be explained why you can't. And there was a few of those that came up lately. The HR board, for instance, there are things related to human resources that can't be made public because it's dealing with people. So there's some of those things, but as much as possible, I completely agree with that.
I look at transparency as a part of what would be my job description if elected. I feel like it would be my job and my place to pour through those agendas and to go through there and make a point to post or point out any items that would affect our city at large or my district and let the people know, make sure that they're aware of anything that would come up that could be controversial that they might like to weigh in on. As far as transparency in our police department, I know we've had a problem with that in the past. I hope that there's improvement coming, and I'm seeing them post stats now, and that's the start. I would like to see a little more done. I would like to see them point out specific areas where there might be a problem happening so that we can be more proactive in taking care of our property or whatever's going on. I'd like to see them post more updates on crimes that have happened. Thank you.
Again, I think the key is going to be transparency and communication. As your District 5 council person, I don't think that you should have to wait until council meeting to find out what's going on. We all need to get together and talk to people in our districts to let them know and communicate with them, let them know large items, things that's going to take place, things that's going to affect them. I don't think they should wait and see a council meeting where we can sit and talk to them, they can have questions, we can do a one-on-one, the whole nine yards. And so that's what, as District 5 council person, I believe in communication.
We talk about public safety. I will continue to work with Chief Mack like I did with Chief Ty Penny and try to do with Chief Dennis Carlisle, Interim Chief Carlisle. We have to bring back a civilian review board. We have to revamp that to where they have subpoena power so that we can make sure that all of the bad apples have been taken out of the Decatur Police Department. Also, when it comes to
Please address strategies with particular focus on public safety administration and improving accountability around government.
Yes, okay. So when it comes to accountability, a lot of times we don't know what the city councilmen are doing. One thing that I want to implement would be a quarterly report for each district where it says, hey, we paid this amount of roads. Hey, we got a new business. Hey, there will be a cleanup day in your neighborhood. Things like this so that we can tell the people what they're doing. And also there's a digital divide between us and our senior citizens. So we have to figure out a way to get information and communicate with our elderly community.
So transparency with the council meetings, I feel like it should be the same thing with like the safety, like with our police department and our fire department. We need to be transparent on like a certain area, not like what everybody said, it has to be like 1,100 pages long. If your job specifically says this, then you need to be more transparent on that job. And then with the safety issue, I think that the police department and the fire department, they need to have a little bit more safety training done. And then that way, when they have a mess up, then they will be held accountable for it. Thank you.
What 2 or 3 practical steps would you take to make Decatur's municipal government more transparent if elected? Address strategies with particular focus on public safety administration and improving accountability around government expenditures, please.
First of all, we'll be honest. That's the first thing. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be adults. Right is right and wrong is wrong. There's no substitute. We have to correct the wrong with the right. So with the safety of our children at stake now, speed zone need to be checked every day. The speed zones need to be checked. We got 30 seconds. What else we can do to help with our citizens? Our seniors are neglected, and they don't feel safe after dark. They don't feel safe going to grocery stores and whatnot. We have to be more concerned about them because they pave the way for us, because they are the leaders really in the city. They helped us get to where we are. We got to help them now.
A couple of things. I think I'll answer the first question with something that I said earlier, to be more transparent with our residents, to have those monthly meetings to where the things that have been discussed on council or in council meetings, I think we can all agree have not been shared with the public. And that needs to happen because the residents don't know everything that goes on in those meetings. And so with that going on, I can also come back to the council to advocate for the residents to bring on forth issues that the council can agree on to actually help the residents and improve it. As far as public safety goes, we should work more closely with our department heads when it comes to fire and police to see if we can implement some type of plan to give out an announcement, maybe weekly or monthly, to discuss issues that are safety related when it comes to public safety, maybe some things that we don't know without impeding current investigations.
Our next question, given our city's lack of an emergency homeless shelter and insufficient affordable housing for low-income and marginalized residents, what are your plans to tackle these issues? And Mrs. French will go first.
I believe it's a shame that our city hasn't already implemented a plan for our unhoused people. They're not homeless, their home is where they are, so we need to serve them as they are and accept them for who they are and come to them at their level and help them with job opportunities and give them a step up to where they can help themselves. Because no one wants to be like that. They just got in a bad life circumstance, and if we just care a little bit more for them and reach out to them and have programs for them, they're going to be able to help themselves out of their situations.
First of all, the city of Decatur's leadership needs to admit we have a homeless problem. Because they refuse to do that. Second, once they admit that, then they need to take action. And taking action, we can look at our neighboring cities like Huntsville. Everybody says, well, Huntsville has a huge tax base, so we're not like Huntsville. Well, Huntsville has admitted they have a problem. They have worked with people like Hands Across Decatur to build homes, be them small, but to work with the homeless and try to help them. There are more things to do than just other programs that there are to try to help with addiction and other things. Those programs are necessary, required, and I approve them. And if I were elected to the city council, I would be in favor of allocating money from the city's budget to support people like Hands Across Decatur. Thank you.
Well, right there in District 4, we've got a great answer to the homeless problem, or at least a supplement to it. Salvation Army, it's right there, it's got a dormitory, and the city could definitely increase their funding to the Salvation Army. And that would assist with a lot of homeless issues. Homelessness is not good, but fortunately here in the city, this is a place with the lowest cost of housing, lowest unemployment, there's lots of opportunities. But we got the Salvation Army, and I think our city should help out as much as possible. I really do, because it's the right thing to do to help those in need. Thank you.
So a few years ago, I served on an HR committee for a homeless shelter in Huntsville. So I know a little bit about it, but I'm going to be completely transparent here. I don't know enough about the homeless problem here in Decatur, and I am in the process of learning about it. So I do know that the place that I worked with in Huntsville, one of the things that they did was to help these people get their social security cards back, IDs, so that they could get jobs. Because sometimes, I mean, you gotta have those things. You gotta have those things to work. So I know those two things are very, very helpful, but I have to learn more about it. Because what I don't want to do is say, I'm gonna do this and this, and then find out I can't even do that to begin with.
As Jason said, in District 4, we've got the Salvation Army. And I know at one time they were set up for an overnight shelter and an emergency shelter during extreme weather. And I believe their HVAC unit has had issues and they haven't been able to get it repaired yet. I would definitely be willing to work with them on that and see what the city could do as far as getting them back up and running. And I've also discussed before hiring possibly a liaison for our in-house community, somebody that can come in, evaluate each person on an individual level and see where their needs could best be met. Whether it's just they're getting an ID, where they can get back into the workforce, helping them get transportation, mental health help, whatever, you know, each person's situation is different, and I think we need somebody that can evaluate each person on an individual level and see where we can be the best help. And I would definitely love to see money go towards a liaison officer to help them.
When it comes to our homeless population, we need programs. We need programs that can help these individuals to leave from welfare to workfare, to leave from being homeless to buying a home, to leave from eating in a soup kitchen to cooking in their kitchen. Give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. We need programs to help these individuals. A lot of our homeless people out there, they're not out there because they want to be there. Things that's taken place in their lives, mental illness, a whole lot of things. We have to find the root of the problem and deal with the problem and try to help these individuals. Understand, homeless people are people. God made all of us equal. God did not make it a junk. We have to learn how to treat and love them just as much as we love ourselves. So my thing is, let's invest in the homeless. Let's find out what their problems are, and let's work to get them from the gutters to where they need to be in a home.
I think when we talk about the homeless problem in Decatur, we have to be intentional about it. We're talking about emergency situations. Decatur City facilities should be open in these emergency situations until we can get out of the heat advisories that we have been having. We also have to make sure that we just don't open up a facility. We have to go out and get them and be intentional about bringing them in, because a lot of times, if you open up, hypothetically, the Karen Matthews Center for a houseless problem, and they're all the way in Kroger's, what are they going to do to get there? You know what I'm saying? So we have to be intentional, make sure that we don't leave them out like they are. And we also have facilities, we have the housing and urban development. Sunset is pretty much empty. Decatur City is still paying utilities for those entities. So we have to figure out how we can get a couple of people into that type of housing so we can move them on with their lives.
The homeless people in Decatur is, it's sad. I feel like if we had all of these empty buildings around Decatur, why can't we turn something like that into somewhat of a homeless shelter, not just hands across Decatur? I know Sue's got her hands full right now. And then we just need to focus on helping them. They're homeless. They don't have a disease. If you see someone out, go and talk to them. You'll learn a lot about somebody and you not even realize it. Talk to them, offer to give them something to eat. That's all a lot of them want. Then again, you might have someone that just wants money, but don't just treat them like they have a disease. because they really don't. Love them like you love yourself.
Given our city's lack of an emergency homeless shelter and insufficient affordable housing for low-income and marginalized residents, what are your plans to tackle these issues?
Yes, first of all, homeless people, some people, they're there because they don't have a choice. Some people choose to be there. Some people are there because of circumstances. We don't want to create a problem without a solution. We have a solution down in the Salvation Army. The place is big, showers and all there. All we have to do is fund it. We got people that need to work. We can give them jobs there. Now coming to housing, affordable housing, we got some lots on District 1 that's not fully lots. We can put those small houses on there and fill in those needed gaps in the community. And the latter part of the question? Yes.
The part was, what are your plans to tackle these issues for low-income and marginalized residents?
Yes. To tackle those issues, we're going to provide them with grants. CDBG money is there, it's available, but you have to know the right resources to get the money. And secondly, we have to prepare for our homeless because it might be you one day. It might be you. Circumstance might put you in that position. Treat them like you want to be treated. Respect them.
I think the absolute best way to improve our homeless situation is something that Sandra mentioned earlier. Sue Turtle is probably the best ethics with Hands Across the Table. She works with the homeless on a daily basis. She knows their names, she knows their habits, she knows just about when they're going to come in, when they're going to leave. So she's the best resource that we have. I think the best thing that we can do is actually partner with her, get closer to her, figure out what we can do to tailor the needs of the homeless to each individual, and then work together to find out solutions that will combat their situations and help improve their lives.
The unhoused are our friends, our neighbors. We should treat them like that. They should not be treated as them or they. They are us. We do have a challenge there, undoubtedly. And I agree with everyone who says Hands Across America is doing a phenomenal job, but they are not funded like they need to be. We can fix that by smartly applying our funds, unlike we have done over the course of the last 5 years. So.
We are now moving into closing statements, and we will start with Mr. Hanley. 1 minute.
All right. First of all, I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank those who sponsored this event tonight. I believe we've heard a lot of good comments here, a lot of good discussion. I believe that all of this has been taken apart by all the candidates, and we're all going to try to do and act on these things if we are elected. Now, I've said before, I'm looking at infrastructure. I'd like to improve our parks. Our dog park moved across town. Nobody knew it was going to happen. There's no plans to put another dog park in another part of town. Rec centers, we've got one big rec center that's being built in the southwest part of town. There's nothing being done for the north part of town. At a minimum, we could put 2 rec centers in this town, one in the north, one in the south. So there's a lot of things we can do for infrastructure to fix that. In addition to that, communication, we've established that we've got a new police chief. We're going to have a new fire chief because the current fire chief is retiring. There's some transparency that is needed there. It's happening, but it needs to be happening better. Thank you.
So first I want to say thank you to our police force and thank you to our fire department. Those guys are lifesavers, and I look forward to Chief Mack and his team coming in and the existing officers moving forward. And I'm thanking for our fire department. Boy, they're great. But hey, Jason Puppet, a business professional, you know, did the stuff before, really have. And I'm experienced. I could definitely lead the council if I got an opportunity. And Father, Christian, got a few more seconds there. And watch WCDH before that, right? Where's the laughter? Tough crowd. Y'all good evening.
So I'm applying for a job. I want to be the next city council person for District 4. And the citizens of District 4 are the ones that are going to be making that selection. And when you hire somebody, you want somebody who has experience and the right qualifications. So I've served on the Municipal board for 12 years, so I have some insights on the city of Decatur. I've served on other boards, and Mr. Perucci is right that the city council is a legislative body, but it also functions very much like a board of directors, and I have experience in that. Also, what we don't talk a lot about is city council takes care of the issues of the citizens. That is the same thing as employee relations and HR. So, and I also have experience in policies. That's what ordinances are. So, hire me, vote for Pam Worsler, Pam for District 4. Thank you.
I'm Angela Tom, and I do not have government experience. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because I'm smart, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to work hard to be the best representative of my district and of my city that I can. And I don't know that anybody on previous councils had government experience when they first decided to become a council member or to run for office. And it has been a definite learning experience. But I've enjoyed it, and I'm ready to get in there and tackle our problems. I'm ready to work with whoever on this dais gets elected. I'm excited. And we're all gonna have to get along. We're all gonna have to work together to make Decatur the best that it can be. And I hope to have a chance to do so for District 4. Thank you so much.
First of all, I want to thank the organizers of this great event. I want to thank our moderator for doing a fantastic job. I'm running for city council because I love Decatur. I have great leadership ability, I'm experienced, I want to listen, and I know that I can make a change. So please vote for Harold Gilmore, District 5. God bless you.
My name is Terrence Atkins. I'm running for District 1. I just want you guys to know that I'm here to fight for District 1. I'm here to fight for Decatur. We have to move Decatur forward, and that's something that I'm willing to do to make sure that my constituents are taken care of when it comes to city council. And when I take care of my constituents, I hope that the rest of the people on the council will take care of theirs in the same way. And then that way we can move Decatur forward together as a team.
I don't have any experience in politics, if you can't tell, you do now. And I just love my city, I love my district. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here. I want to clean that area up, I want to make it better, I want to make Decatur better. I want my grandkids to experience Decatur the way that I experienced it growing up. Playing outside, and not having to worry about anything bad happening. Our kids can't do that now. I want to thank everybody that came out here, and I pray for each one of these guys and ladies on this panel, because we have had a very, very strenuous job title, and our job title was running for this. And I thank them. And whoever wins, I know that there's going to be a great next 4 years. Sabrina Bay, District 1, thank you.
Well, the reason why I'm doing this is because I coached baseball for about 40 years. Some of you played baseball for me. There are numerous wheelchair ramps, numerous houses we've done in the city, in our community, not just in District 1. I've had a love for this city for 40, 50 years. Trying to help my fellow citizens, whatever they need me to do, I try to help them. Numerous times they came and asked me to help, and I was really able to help them. Over 250 houses they have me help. Paint, shrubs, flower gardens, handrails for the elderly. And I know the people that knows me, that my reputation speaks for itself. I'm for the citizens of Decatur, Alabama.
I'd like to thank you all for coming out and listening to us tonight. This was a wonderful event. Those of you who are in D1, you've received my text, you have received my calls, you have received my mailings, and I hope to, on Tuesday, receive your vote. Nick Perkins, District 1, Decatur City Council. Thank you.
Mike Ferrucci for District 3. I want to thank all of you for coming here today. This is not easy. I'm not a politician by trade, and I will tell you that this is probably one of the most difficult things to put a challenge on my family in terms of running. But I also want to thank my beautiful wife, Amy, for all of her support in getting me this far, at least, to be sitting at this table with all these great people. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but together, I think we can make it happen. District 3, if you trust me with your vote on August 26th, I will not disappoint, and you've got my number.
I would like to end with, I only have a minute, so if you have any further questions, you can reach out to me on Facebook, my cell phone number, anything. I will happily answer any questions. I will come and meet with you. We can meet up somewhere. We can have a phone call, whatever. If you're missing any information that I can give you, I'm happy to do so. My biggest thing is we have stayed in the city for the past 2 years. That's why I got involved. That's why I got involved, and that's why I'm running. If you want change in the city and you want us to move forward, know who is making the moves now and vote for different people. Vote for people who care about you and care about where Decatur is going, because we needed to go forward. We do not need to stay like we have been for the past 4 years.
Let's give a round of applause to all of our public Before we dismiss, I'd like to welcome Dr. Beth to the stage, please.
Thank you to all the candidates that took their time to come out to talk to you, the people of Decatur. It has to matter to you that our friends who are running for office are doing so because they care so deeply and so passionately for what's going on around us. Nobody is up here for the thrill of it. Everyone here wants to make a difference. So please, friends, give them a round of applause. Thank you. Also, I'd like to thank the Princess Theater for hosting us when they didn't have to. And our sound technician, Jonathan Mitchell. Yes. And I really like to thank Miss Kanisha Deese, who has done this 2 nights in a row. Thank you so much. A better moderator has never existed. We have a gift from you, from our orgs, and also from the city of Decatur. Give it up for Jonathan. So, on behalf of Angela Curry, the president and founder of the United Women of Color, our friend Roger Ellis from the League of Women Voters in Tennessee Valley, and the friend Heather from Stone River, the church at Stone River, myself and all the team at the Southeastern Diversity Project. We all want to remind you, thank you, of one thing, that August the 26th, these people are going to have a little more power, no matter what somebody is. But they will never have more power than you do when you collaborate together. In the 2020 election, the Decatur City's website says that there were about 57,000 people in the city of Decatur. Less than 20,000 voted for the city council. Less than 18,000 voted for our mayor. We can do better than that, and that also should tell you that if you have a favorite and you want that one to win, get your neighbor. Get everybody you can to vote, because your vote matters and that's your power. Thank you all for coming tonight.